everybody, and welcome on back to some Wizard Living is Supreme. Before we get too far, I want to say that wizards are women are wizards too. Like the whole witch thing always bothered me in Harry Potter. It's like you've got wizards, noble, nice, and then you've got witches, cackling and evil, and granted, like they do a good job about like, oh no, these witches and wizards are just boys and girls, what have you, but like, it just needs to be said that we need to start rolling back the accidental patriarchy just because we're too lazy to say men and women are human. Like, that's about the gist of it. Actually, let's go ahead and get the stairs. We'll work on this. Um, well, actually, what I wanted to talk about, we don't have any books or anything out yonder, and I came over here. Actually, you know what? No. Let's go ahead and go back. Because what I wanted to do, and I forgot to do last night. Actually, I did a lot of stuff last night. It was good. In fact, yeah, let's take all this stuff. Leave the stairs because I'm building a massive stairway network in the nether here. This is my gigantic portal. It's supposed to look like I imagined making it. Oh, geez, I need to fix that because this bridge isn't exactly safe. But I imagined the Warcraft 2 portal where all the orcs start coming through from their other world. Like it's basically hell, but it ends up being I think they actually have a name for it, like Darius or something or Doran or I can't remember. But anyways, the orcs are not from Earth, or at least not from this time. So it could be a time portal, like from the future, from the past, so far removed that humans are extinct and it's just orcs and a bunch of things. But since we don't have skeletons of orcs, like, I don't know. Like, there's a whole bunch of lore that could be inferred or, fan fiction or what have you. But basically, so let's back up a little bit. I'm a white hat cybersecurity professional. I'm certified. I don't actually have any certifications per se, which I'm going to get soonish, but like work is pretty crazy. I do IT for a nonprofit education place, and there's only three of us, and there's only a team of about 50 people that manages around 1,000 students every year, almost 100 faculty and staff, so we call them staculty, and and guess who onboards? Oh, no, I don't. I don't actually meet everybody, but I meet most of them because I gotta help with the setup and multi-factor and make sure that their account is secure and good to go. So I do a lot of security in my day-to-day. And then on top of that, I'm constantly having to keep an eye out for security threats, like either patches that we need to do or holes in our own security profile that we need to address. And that's the nice thing is like my two colleagues that I work with are very knowledgeable. One's got like 25 years of experience in managing systems in higher education, and the other one used to work for the feds. But no, they're both great guys, and like, I mean, it is a little male dominant. So I mean, but that's actually pretty typical for IT and software and tech roles, and it's unfortunate. Like, and I hope to see that change in my lifetime. I hope to see more women getting into IT and making it a more balanced field because women need representation. Plus, it's a great job. Like, you can almost do it remote from anywhere, most of it, except for me, because I deal with a bunch of the hardware. So I do the onboarding. I give them their laptops. I give them their, like, if they need more hardware, I take care of that. But we're also a remote hybrid organization. So most of our people don't even work in the office. So I don't, and most of our valuables are up in the cloud somewhere. And not only just any cloud, but two specific clouds that are very well protected with security, and we don't have to worry about it. We just need to worry about who's accessing it, keeping an eye on the logs, making sure only our people are getting in there. And yeah, we deal with student information, so it's a lot of like, hey, you got to be careful with this. You got to watch out for this. So, and same with medical information too. We got some of that floating around. I mean, it's a school, and not floating around. That makes it sound like unsecure. Our medical system is even more secure. It is insanely secure. It's so secure. A lot of our own people can't get into it half the time. But no, I'm just kidding. But like, anyways, one of the main things that I want to accomplish with all this stuff, like Bob Ross had his paintings, he could make you relax or let you relax, not make you do anything. You watch his show, you get to see his artwork, I mean, his skills and being able to paint, and he's able to communicate his thoughts and ideas to a piece of paper very well. Like he's able, all of his brush strokes are just on point, and even if they're not, he knows how to fix it to where, oh, that's not how I meant it to go, but I can make it go this way now. And he lived with painting and stuff. He was also a marine, probably killed some people, probably had to see some pretty gnarly things. I've never killed anyone, and I've never actually served in any military per se. But I am a certified white hat cybersecurity professional, and part of that is I swore an oath to use my powers for good. Yeah, I know hacking, a basic amount. I'm not some like rock star hacker, but I am still on several watch lists because of the things that I know how to do. And if anyone were to catch me doing those things, I could go to prison. And I should too. Like, because all the things that cybersecurity professionals are really trying to protect against is people stealing, whether it's stealing their time, their money, or their family's information, and then bothering them and stealing their time, their money. I mean, a lot of it's like lottery winners. Oh, that just smooth pisses me off. Like, the fake lottery winners. I fell for one of those. I started talking to somebody. It turned out to be some dude in India. Or at least that's what my best guess was. Because, like, when the English started to fall apart and I started to see, like, that's just what it seemed like. But I mean, I could be wrong, except for I really upset him or her when I started showing pictures of beef and cows getting slaughtered and stuff. And like, yeah, it was a really messed up tactic, but the dude was trying to steal from me. He was trying to get me to send him money to send me a bunch of money. It was the Prince of Nigeria scam all over again, only with this one, he even sent we'll just say he for simplicity's sake for now because I mean, I like to think a lot of women are, but then I say that, but Rachel Tobeck is one of my favorite ethical hackers now. I mean, she's gorgeous, first of all, but I watched her do some social engineering for in my boot camp. We actually watched her, and then I actually missed it this last time. I want to send out my apologies, like because I was eager to watch her again, but I didn't put it on my calendar, and so I just went right through it. I was working like because I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I'm always dealing with something or another. Also, I guess we'll just park all this stuff here for now. Oh wait, we don't need the gold. Oh, let's go check on our because I'm gonna build this like hellscape for the problems. Actually, how much time do we have? I gotta go off to work actually. I'm gonna be running a little bit late, but I also started answering. I always do that. Like I'll wake up and then for like the first hour of my day, I'll answer like emails and messages and all this stuff. And yeah, we'll go over. Actually, the courts. I'll leave the courts here too. I don't know why not. And we'll throw that there. But basically, how to protect people and every people. And this is what needs to spread. We need to spread ideas of how we can help our families and friends stay safe on the internet. Like, that's a big concern. Now, what I saw yesterday, I was working with someone and they had a virus. Now, the extent of the virus, I don't know. But what it was search synergy. And I think I briefly mentioned it last night. But basically, it's a hijacker that hijacks your browser and shows you a bunch of ads. It's basically a pop up that infects your browser. It's horrible. And somehow, oh wait, these are nuggets. Whoops, that's not gonna. So you gotta take the nuggets and then you gotta make them into ingots. That's how that works. Yep, see. So, in fact, we'll go ahead and leave that there. This will just be our resource block, like with all sorts of these ores. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. And it's just going to continue to slowly feed that. I mean, if I'm in this area. See, it stopped working when I left, but we've got tons of wood feeding the fuel in there. Like, it's almost full. It's going to take forever to get rid of that. And we can even double up, like I've said last night. You could put another chest here, another chest there, and another chest there. But I don't have near enough ore. And I've been saving. Like, this was me saving up, and mostly it's copper, but and already most of it's been processed into, this. And that was from doing a lot of mining. So, but anyways, the search synergy, we need to figure out how to fix these things. So I wanted to take this episode and basically explain, well, what do you do in a case like that? And so the best option is just the nuclear option. You take all your files, you put them up in the cloud somewhere, either Google, like I use Google Drive. Google protects all my stuff. They also know everything about me. They've got people suing them. I was asked if I wanted to be on part of a lawsuit for some data breach. No. Google is working hard. They've never charged me anything for using their stuff except for my information, and I've probably bought things that was advertised through them, that were advertised through them. Simple stuff like that, and that's what they're trying to do. In fact, let's go mining. We need some more ores. And I need some more diorite too. I know I have a bunch, but we're about to make a bunch of temples. And basically what I want to do is build little houses of thought or temples with books and all that so people can just come to this world or see these worlds and be like, ah. And eventually, I want to open this world up to the public and make a realm and be like, or have people to where they can observe maybe. But I mean, you got to be careful because there's a lot of griefers out there that, they might be like, ha ha, I'm gonna go troll A-Rye, like I'm gonna go destroy stuff. Nah, I mean, I get it. You're young, dumb, and stupid, but and your prefrontal cortex hasn't fully developed. But that's not my problem. We're not about to make it my problem. That's where that is. So, anyways, Coach A-Rye. That's what I want to be one day. Is I want to coach the youth, teach them the lessons that I was taught, and blah blah blah, and all that, and help make sure they don't go out and kill people. Huh. Actually, that's not. I mean, I'm half joking, half serious. Like, safe driving, safe everything, like sensible, using common sense in all areas, and not just trusting what the government says, because that's the biggest load of crap. Like, I'm sorry, like the war on drugs, that's one of the biggest things I protest. Anyways, no, let's get back to the search synergy. Sorry, but we can rant about that all day and how that is just ridiculous. It's rich people not understanding what poor people go through, and not even just poor people, just normal people. Like the other 98, 99% of the world doesn't have the same problems as rich people, and getting caught with a little grass is a really big deal for if you're poor. Now, if you're rich, doesn't matter. You can go to a hotel and smoke crack with hookers. Like, I digress. So search synergy. Now, I've seen one like this. I actually got infected by something, and it was as simple as reverting my search browser to a normal trusted one. And that's what they do. They hijack your search engine from Google or Bing or whatever you use. I think I don't know which one Safari has. Maybe it's just called Safari. But anyways, the search engine is the tool that powers your searches. It shows you what websites pop up when you type in a search thing. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but I feel like we should kind of just define it. Like, what is this thing that's been infected? Now, because of that, it has access to your computer, and how much access, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it has a chance to, because I feel like it's also a file browser. Like with Chrome, I've been able to browse my files, and when I've been doing web development stuff, you want it to browse your files because you want it to find localhost and the index.html or .php that you put there, whatever landing page, which is usually an index in HTML is the very basic. That's hypertext markup language, and that's like what all websites are made of. Like they follow those rules or those procedures so they can be rendered on a computer anywhere in the world. Now, PHP is more of like, and JavaScript are the powerful languages that can actually program and control and like add behavior and like movement to your websites or functionality. HTML can in CSS. I've seen some really cool stuff with just CSS. And CSS is the cascading style sheets. Just so we kind of have a brief understanding of what is the internet? Like what is, I mean, it's just a ton of ones and zeros. And actually not even that. They represent the values of ones and zeros, but I think they're actually more frequencies. And so the more intense frequencies doesn't have to exactly register a one, become a one. And the lower frequencies, but they still register as something, I believe. So there's like a space holder. It's not just, oh wait, did we drop the signal and we're interpreting that as a bunch of 00000? No, like and you have to have those safeguards in there. Otherwise, yeah, things can break, problems will happen. But so this thing, it hijacks your search bar, or your search engine, and depending on how much access it has, it could read your files. It could have a keylogger built in that captures all of the stuff that you type. Because guess what? When you have that window open, it is an essential keylogger because it's logging your keystrokes to enter the information into the web browser. So if you want to log into a website, you have to enter your credentials into that. Now, a malicious keylogger would be taking that and routing it somewhere else and writing it to a file so they can see, oh, your username is this and your password is this. Oh, thank you. And then they just hacked you. They stole your password. Then the first thing they're going to do is they're going to try that password on all of your accounts. And that's the other thing. If they hijack your browser, they see everything that you log into. So it's a very bad thing. And the more things that you use with a compromised browser, shoot. Now what I should have told her is just start using a different search engine altogether until you get this sorted. Like the more you do this stuff, that's potentially. I'll send her an email today, but that's a very real thing. Now the other things I've seen are Facebook hacks. Phones, I screen all my phone calls because if they don't leave a message, then it was probably a scam. That's the unfortunate state of our world. And there's a bunch of cybersecurity professionals out there, much like myself, that are trying to hunt this stuff. but we need help. We can't just do it on our own. You need to report suspicious activity. You need to be the snitch because guess what? I have no sympathy for these people, and I'm a former drug dealer. Like, I mean, I have zero sympathy for these people. Okay, yeah, I used to sell weed back in the day. Like, it wasn't anything serious, but no, I wasn't exactly Johnny Law on the spot. Neither was my professor. He told us from day one, I have a checkered past. The best cybersecurity professionals do have some criminal past or criminal history. That's because they're made to think outside of the box. They have had to solve problems, maybe, outside the boundaries of the law, but hopefully always within the boundaries of ethics. And unfortunately, that's not always the case. And if you steal from people, then you're in for a rude awakening if you ever get caught and you go to jail because they hate thieves. Like, oof, that's pretty bad. Almost as bad as SOs, sex offenders. I'm just kidding. Sex offenders are a million times worse. Like, but if you steal from somebody, you're disrespecting them to the point where you think that you're entitled to what they worked for or they got. Doesn't matter if it was just handed to them. And that's what like people don't understand that hack people is they think that all Americans are just rich and wealthy and live in these big fancy houses and nah. All through college I lived with roommates, Saudi roommates actually and we lived pretty poor. Like we still, we had fun, we partied, we did this and that, and like, I mean, they were still good Muslims, of course, just like I was a good Christian, of course, like. But it was important because we were able to see, and actually, I gotta figure out a thing because my brother, his actual physical biological brother, is coming to the country, and I'm not a great host. I mean, I'm a dad. I work full time. Like, well, I'm a single dad, so half the week I got kids. So I got to figure that out, and like I want to be a good host, but at the same time, yeah, I'm not at a position like maybe when my kids are older, like in high school age, that would actually be kind of cool. Have a host kid from another country. I would love to do that, but again, it's just single dad, a wizard off of my own condo, which is a small condo, and I make decent money. But you know where all my money goes? To pay for the education that I got. I got it all on loan, like over 20 grand is what I owe still and I owe another 4 grand for my cybersecurity training. Now, granted, it was very worth it, and I feel like that was actually what sealed the deal with this job. Is I do have an understanding of security, but I also have an understanding of people. I mean, I took psychology, I took sociology, I took anthropology, history, like all of these things, understanding how people used to act and how people act today. I mean, in fact, my sociology professor was one of my favorite professors, and he had a friend in the Hells Angels, which it's funny because I probably have friends in the Hells Angels that I don't even know about or family. I have a lot of biker family, but it doesn't matter. I mean, that doesn't mean that you automatically know and do everything that they do. It's just you potentially have someone you could be like, hey, why do people do this? And then you can get their perspective like, well, this is why I do this, and it's often because there are some inequalities here in this country. I'm not condoning crime, I'm not condoning anything like that, but, and we're finding out more and more about what's going on. Like, what are people doing? Dodging taxes is a big one because, like, I get it, like, tax law, we should make that make sense. We should lower the costs of the government, and we should really reduce costs for everyone so we don't have to keep doing these heinous things. But, like, our military budget, it's run away. But part of that is because it pays all these people their salary. Like they are in the military, they have a career to protect this country if they ever are needed, and hopefully they're never needed. But unfortunately, stuff happens, and we got the Ukraine thing going on. And that's a whole different attack vector. So yeah, the one that I was dealing with yesterday, the search synergy, where it hijacks the search bar, it's most likely logging her keystrokes, saving her history, finding out all of the systems that she signs into, all the websites she visits. Like it's recording all of that and probably beaconing that back home. And then some hacker, some person is like, "Oh, I got a new list uploaded of where she's browsing today. Haha, I'm gonna try to crack her password on this website." Like, no. And again, there's an entire army behind the scenes of people hunting this stuff. So, actually, where are we at? Yeah, that's good. Actually, if I leave now, I'll get to work pretty much on time, so I think I'll do that. So we'll call it good for here. I just wanted to put that out there that I am going to work towards part of this season or this series or this playlist, I guess we should say, is going to be addressing what do you do? So with this particular one, and I'm going to send her an email as soon as I get to the office, like, hey, this is what you should be doing. Like immediately start using a different browser. And there are different ones. There's Opera, there's Firefox, there's Chrome. This was Chrome. It was a hijack of Chrome. And all it takes is you click a link and it's like, oh, install this browser or make this your default browser. And it's usually just some little notification that just pops up. And usually people are used to like, yeah, yeah, whatever, leave me alone. But you always need to read like what's being asked of you, what's being told. You can't just click things away. And even then, it could have even said, it could say whatever. It could be like, oh, update Chrome or whatever. And it probably does actually, because you're trying to trick somebody into clicking that. And then once you do, it's like, okay, you've just authorized installing this software or this search bar or whatever. And so, but we need to make it to where everybody. So I'm deputizing everyone who watches these. You are now a white hat cybersecurity professional, and you are going to help your family, or at least you're a deputy or you're an assistant or however you want to think about it. And it's really not that hard. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes dedication, but anybody can learn cybersecurity. It's basically like a lot of log parsing and playing games. Like, okay, if I were trying to steal your money, if I was trying to steal your login, how would I go about doing it? And then they do it. So, and that's cybersecurity in a nutshell. So, let's go ahead and drop this stuff off. We'll finish. Let's talk about the other hacks real quick, and then I'll head off to work. But um, so Facebook, the common one is if someone's account gets hacked, and what that means is someone stole their username and password and is able to log in as them. Um, if that happens, and I think that's even being shut down because I'm pretty sure you have to use multi-factor on Facebook now. But if you're still like, if you stay logged in and someone else logs in, I don't know, there's ways around it. But basically, the one that I've seen is I had somebody send me a message that said, "Look who died," and like this freaked face, like oh my gosh, like the scream or the gasp or whatever. And if you look at the link, it looks like something fishy. You're like, okay, maybe it's an obituary, maybe it's this or that. And the one that I saw, it was a login page. They wanted me to log in with my username and password, basically tell them all my stuff. Like, oh yeah, hey, it's just this, this, and this. Wait, why is it not logging me in? Or it might even do a pass through to send you back to Facebook where you were already logged into. And now they have your username and password. They act as you. They start sending that message to everyone else. Oh, we're on to the gold now. Oh no, the gold was able to suck down into there. Okay. So, but anyways, that's the hack I've seen with Facebook. Now, the shoulder surfing is a real thing. That's why you need to be kind of conscious of who's around you when you're typing in passwords. I hacked my own mom that way. Like, we had a family computer. She had a password. It was our cat's name. Like, so it wasn't that hard to guess anyway. But I was left alone with the computer for a long period of time. And now, parents, you have to be aware that your kids, see, like with my kids, I'm teaching them how to search, like safely, how to not click virus links, how to. So when they start hitting puberty and they start getting curious, they're gonna probably have Pornhub open. They're gonna have all this crazy stuff open. I don't even know. But the thing is how do you fix that scalably so where you can trust them to go and do the right thing? Because whatever, they're gonna have their urges, they're gonna have their kinks or whatever. I don't want to think about that. I'm their dad. Like to me, I'm gonna pretend like la la la. They're not gonna do any of that. But in all reality, I'm gonna be like, well, here's how you don't get viruses. No celebrity is gonna try to share their nudes with you. I actually have a friend who used to do that. He used to send or at least like have nudes of celebrities, and it's just a phishing thing. Like they click the link, they're like, "Oh, I want to see Britney Spears naked," like, and then boom, you just downloaded a virus or you downloaded some malware. So, and that's how they do it. They prey on our primal urges and our basic instincts, or tricking you too. Like the worst hack, and Mark Rober is great for this, and I need to get involved with him and his people, like, or see if there's a thing, because I'm sure it's out there, but other like-minded people helping others. And what I want to start doing, it's either going to be YouTube or Twitch, and I'm just going to stream every Sunday, I think, for a good 2 hours, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to troubleshoot things. Like, hey, you got something broken? Because it's better than a forum. Like, forums for discussing things are great. Like, then you have to be able to phrase the question. You have to go there, and oftentimes the forums are closed because it's like, okay, they already solved the problem. If you do that, then you'll fix it. And unfortunately, a lot of that's due to spamming or trolls or people that are just having a bad day. So, okay, never mind. We actually made it closer to almost a full episode. And I will be running a little late to work, but that is fine. I can even just stay late today. Plus, I work outside, so like it's really easy. But this is important. Like this type of thing, and I'm saying, like as someone who's in the business in the industry, I met somebody that I needed to coach and still need to coach that has a virus that could potentially steal from her. And she just retired, you know. She needs to enjoy her retirement. Like she's still working, but like she's doing like half working stuff, like non-profit working, like more being able to give back to the world in the ways that she can, and it's awesome. So, but she can't be doing that if people are stealing, especially when people retire. Like I was just talking to one of my relatives the other day. Like he lives on a fixed income, even though he worked for the government, which is weird because I have other family that work for the government. They get 3/4 of their pay for life. Like it's still a fixed income, but you could choose to work to make up the difference. So you're still retiring, relaxing, but yet you get paid. Um, and that we definitely need to protect that. That can't go away. But we need to make it to where all people could live that way. Could you imagine like everybody gets 3/4 of their pay for the rest of their life? Like if they work, I mean, and it's not that people don't work. I mean, you get fired if you don't work, or you get reprimanded, or there's no possible way, you know, to just not work. So, anyways, ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one. But be aware of those. And if you have a family member, like just take a look at their computers. Like ask them questions. Be like, hey, you know, or if you have a family chat. And that's what everybody really needs to do is take care of their family units with a family chat. We have a Facebook group, my family, but we don't really use it that much. And I think I'm actually going to put out something to them as well and just be like, hey, y'all, look out for this. If you have this, and the thing is most of them are Apple users, which there's not a lot of viruses for Apple, but Apple uses. Oh, that's right, they use Chrome. I just remembered because I talked to one of my buddies who's an Apple genius and a training person and like a mentor manager type person. Anyways, he's pretty high up in Apple, and we were talking about that, and he's like, "Yeah, we have a deal with Google. They pay us a lot of money to be our search engine. So, and they also get to scrape, you know, user information from that and blah blah blah." But, anyways, Apple devices, since a lot of people use those, you gotta kind of protect against that too. So, ta ta for now. I will see you in the next one.